Am I doing a struggle session? Yeah, I will. I'm gonna start right now. Kind of forgot about it. Oh, okay. Okay, so he bought it here, got stopped out the same day. I guess it was an okay setup, but it kind of obviously failed in a big way. Yeah, that was near the peak of the SPAC market. You can see why it failed, because Nasdaq pulled back. You know, Nasdaq had a big run, multi-month run, and you know you want to buy breakouts when the market, you know, the Nasdaq I think is the best index to follow, comes out of a multi-month sideways consolidation or a multi-month sell-off. Here, good time to buy breakouts. Here, not so much. And that's why it's failed. The setup itself was pretty, you know, was okay, but you know, once the market is straight up for multiple months, you gotta be careful buying breakouts. You should have already, you know, bought breakouts for many months. LAC, I don't know where his center is. I can't determine. I can't see. Again, I don't understand where his center is. I have no idea. Like the format he posted is super weird. Okay, Peloton. If I see it correctly, he had an entry here. It was a good setup. It failed. But again, like this thing was a huge laggard. Again, early February, mid-February, you tried to buy. Like the setups themselves were okay. Actually, they were pretty decent. But you know, you put them in the correlation with the market, and you'll see, you know, it was a huge laggard compared to the market. And then the market started pulling back mid-February, and everything failed. FSR, right here on this day. I also bought it this day. It was a EP type of a type, but yeah, it failed. It failed. I thought it was a good setup. A lot of volume, took out this long range, and at that time the EV related names were really hot. But that was obviously at the end of the move, so that's why it failed. OEG, let's see, where did he enter here? If I understand it correctly, well, he entered here. No, he entered here. Never mind. Super confusing charts. But yeah, it was a good setup. But you know, again, like I said it before, like there were a lot of micro caps that had these types of setups. What were the others? I don't even remember them. Was ICE one of them? No, not ICE. Bingo was one. Like Bingo, back in mid-February, these micro caps that were up thousands of percent. You have to understand, like, they're not gonna go up forever. Like, this thing was up 1700%, 1600%. And yeah, the setup was great, but again, the Nasdaq crapped and all of these things went down. What's this? I don't know where his enter is. Twitter, again, not a good setup. Or well, yeah, no. It was a high tide flag, gapped up, but again, late February, market was kind of soft. It had already, you know, like the 10-day had started sloping down. When is the best time to buy breakouts? Chat, come on. Come on, chat. When is the best time to buy breakouts? What do we want to see in the moving averages? After correction? Yeah, but the moving averages. When the 10-day is above the 20-day, yeah? More. Rising 10-day, 20-day. We want to see the 10-day above the 20-day, and both the 10-day and 20-day need to be rising. Or one of them can be sideways, but at least one of them needs to be rising. That's when you have good conditions, generally, for breakouts. Not a perfect indicator, but like in late February, the 10-day had started sloping down, the 20-day was sideways. Actually, yeah, in late February. So that was a warning sign that you shouldn't buy breakouts. Like Twitter, yeah, Twitter did look good. Like if I compare this setup, I'm gonna show you guys. You know, you just see this setup here. Big move, found support on a rising 10-day, and building high tight flag. Next day gaps up, but in this case it crapped and it never went higher. Now let's look at something like NIO. I'm gonna show you. Similar setup. Fairly similar setup. For example, something like this. Big move, pulled back to the 10-day, started building a flag, and it went straight up. Why did it go straight up? Well, because the market had just come out of a multi-month correction, and that was the start of a multi-month move. And NIO had shown strength all the way. That's a good time to buy breakouts, when the market comes out of a multi-month sideways or multi-month correction. Not when the market has already run for 2-3 months straight up and they're starting to lose momentum. Not a good time to buy breakouts. Next, Corsair. If I understand this correctly, he bought it here. Again, good setup, but yeah, early February, that was near the peak of the market. And this thing had been lagging for a while. Like look at this thing. December, late November to early February. This thing went sideways. Look at what the Nasdaq did. Nasdaq went straight up during this time. Huge laggard. The setup itself was good, but again, you see laggards starting to break out after a multi-month move. You gotta be careful. Sometimes they can work, but you know, the fail rate is gonna be higher. This one I don't understand what the entry was. Super confusing format. I don't know. I don't know where his entry was. What's this? OEG? He bought it here. Oh, this one I already went through. Again, it was up over 1,000%. The setup itself was good, but you gotta be careful. Like these ones that are up like 1,000, 2,000% in a few months. Like they're not gonna keep going up forever. You're just not gonna get a high tide flag, a double, high tide flag, a double, high tide flag, a double for eternity. You know, the higher they go, the higher the fail rate will be eventually. What's this? Again, I don't. If I understand it correctly, he bought it here. And again, like these micro caps, small caps. Well, actually, back then it was a higher market cap, but yeah, I kind of see this. It found support on the rising 50, and it broke this range, but it wasn't a clean setup. And again, the market was, you know, started correction. Speculation money started leaving. Like when did I go short Plug and Tesla? Oh, that was mid-February. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, early February, that's when we started seeing these danger signs. Late January. Yeah, you know, it's pretty much, you know, some of the setups were good, but again, the market conditions weren't good. Actually, I have to say this guy had the best setup so far in the struggling trader feedback. I would say generally, but again, like you need to have market awareness. Very important. You just can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. You have, like, it's not that easy. Good setup, buy. No, you need to be aware of the market conditions. Yeah, exactly. He says the entries, his setups were pretty good. Like they were actually, all of the setups pretty much were pretty decent and actually very good, but the market was bad during the February era. Yeah, trading is easy. Super easy. Everyone can do it. Everyone can turn their accounts from 5,000 to 80 million. No effort needed. You don't need to study history. You don't need to understand psychology. You don't need to understand how stocks move, when they move. It's very easy. Yeah, sell high, buy low. Yeah, hope and pray is a good strategy. And you can follow anyone on Twitter. The more followers they have, the more legit they are and the more money you're gonna make. Or TikTok. Yeah. I hear TikTok is the new big thing. Stock, financial TikTok. It's the new Wall Street. That's where the geniuses hang out. Yeah, you're probably not following enough people on TikTok and Twitter. Yeah. If you don't follow at least 300 people on Twitter, you're a loser.